Respected all sadhakas, welcome. Salutations to Parabrahma, Shruti Mata, all our Guru Acharya Parampara, Ishta Devata, Raksha Bandhana, Shubhavinandana to everyone. May we be blessed by the Guru Parampara, the Lord. First, let us be cleared of all our powerful, very strong forcing prarabdha, which is not allowing us to become introverted even when we are willing, with all our seriousness and sincerity from our side, that we want to pursue only the path of the truth or the self, still the outer and inner uncontrollable forces are pulling us towards the worldliness. That is called as the strong, inevitable prarabdha. May we all soon and very soon get exhausted of all that and find within ourselves that quiet, balanced mind, undisturbed, unagitated mind, and may we fully find Paramatma alone as our goal, convinced, and then smoothly let there be the sailing of, the flying of, the traveling of these Adhyatmika sadhanas. Before that, let every step regarding Adhyatmika sadhana be unambiguously, very perfectly, clearly, undoubtedly be understood by us. And step by step, knowing what to achieve and knowing what to do to achieve that next stage. May we all enjoy this journey of every days, every moments, Adhyatmika sadhana. This will happen with the three things while exhausting prarabdha. We are not adding the new one. Second is we are consciously recognizing the opportunities provided by our own mind and God's grace, using them. Third is relentless prayers to that infinite powerful, the God and the Guru. When these three things are consciously minded, then definitely our spiritual journey itself gives inspiration and joy. Not only the destination reaching, but the journey itself. That, see, coming to the class, there is a joy. There's something nobler as a human being which we are ought to do, we are doing. In that class, see the chantings of the mantras. It's a joy which is not done by anyone. Very few are there who are doing this noble act. Then, through the effort to understand the meaning of these mantras, with the help of the Bhashya, to the newer horizons of knowledge we are raising, which is the sole Purushartha a human being is supposed to do, increasing his knowledge. Once the knowledge starts becoming authentic, clear, complete, based on this knowledge, the decisions and actions will be perfect, giving perfect results. This is regarding using that knowledge or having this worldly knowledge and using it there to avoid mistakes and be no miserable but successful and happy. Same when is the knowledge of spirituality also. With the clarity you can see that beautiful joy coming to us. So in this way, let our spiritual journey be giving us that anand. Little further, when that knowledge we start becoming living. when we start living that knowledge, whether the worldly knowledge of how we have to do the vyavahara, that is with values, or knowing that our varnashrama dharma and living them, or in today's world, our duties and responsibilities and conducting them. See that joy when that knowledge is practiced. Outer, the parents, when they are systematically with knowledge, bringing up the children by providing them all outer and inner things. So grateful, great joy it is. So too, same joy is for that Mali in that garden when he brings up those plants which are going to give fruits or flowers or any vegetables. How nice it is. Same way there is a joy. Now imagine the joy when we are practicing our inner knowledge also. We are talking about the happiness en route. जर्नी में ही आनंद की बात हम कर रहे हैं बिफोर रियली एंजॉइंग द रीचिंग ऑफ डेस्टिनेशन may we have all this with our efforts with the grace of Lord. This is a thought we are discussing. Then when I am able to see, consciously do the viveka, and accordingly I am finding everything is changing, ephemeral, destroying, and only one thing unchanging, Paramatma is there supporting. Through this viveka, if this is understood, and therefore developing vairagya and from the heart, not valuing beyond requirement the things and beings of the world. These are all the sadhanas, not siddhis. How joyful it is. So too the sadhanas of shamadamadi or yamaniyamadi or japa upasanadi or any of these sadhanas through that. When we are strengthening our manabuddhi chitta hankara, divine strength, when we are divinizing them, when we are making them shuddha, pure, that I know my heart is pure now. In that, there are no more kama krodhas. Of the rajo guna, there are no more lazy lethargy, postponements of the tamo guna. How joyful that life will be when we have made our antakarana like this through these sadhanas done. These are all preparations. Then really imagine any time of the day, only the mantras of the Upanishad are remembered by us with the very spashta jnanam about those mantras with the Bhashya. And the chintanam is going on that, and effortlessly we are able to grasp the meaning and revel in it, whether it is Upanishad mantras or it is Purana Itihasa shlokas. In the shlokas, whether it is Bhagavan's Rupa Varnana, Guna Varnana, Leela Varnana, Dhama Varnana, Shakti Varnana, Mahima Varnana, or Karuna Varnana, or Bhagavan's Tattva Vishleshana as we see in Vedanta. As it is being studied or remembered by us, so we are able to lift our experience to that level. See the joy of it. So, for these beautiful, subtler, uncontaminated, no regret, wale, pure joys we have to try for. To get convinced about all this, what is required is our this type of effort of being so regular in our Shravanam from our Acharyas, the Shastras, and in the Shastras, all these Vishaya. So may the Lord be, Guru be, with always us, with our prayers and our deserving. May we all be regular in our Shastra Shravanam with our plan, with our commitment, with our effort of sacrificing whatever, like you are doing today. Today is Raksha Bandhana, so much important it is. Yet you are in the class. So too, may we really enjoy the sadhanas of all sorts again with our own committed efforts. Like that, our joy Our life, instead of getting disappointed and frustrated in trying to seek the worldly things, our life should be peaceful, contented, happy, because we are on the spiritual path and we are able to do something sadhanas. So may we all come to that life of fulfillment very soon. कि बस thank God अब हम मार्ग में आ गए हैं कि चल रहा है गाड़ी पहुंच जाएंगे जल्दी. You know, when you listen to that Yudhishthira and other rajas, when they prayed to Krishna Bhagavan, praised and prayed. See how wonderful, huh? Kimva Shivam, while saying that toward the end, what was the power of that shloka, you see? He, having given up the identity with the Dehadi Upadhi, that charana of yours, worshipping which we transcend the samsara, we are holding on to that. Yudhishthira was not saying, O Lord, bless us to have devotion at your feet. He is in a higher stage. Already I am doing that sadhana only, O Lord. Or he himself decided. So a step further he reached. So to the Patnis of Krishna, when they said, Bhaive Janmani Janmani, when that Bhadra says, or Grahadasikaha, when the Kalindi Yamuna says, or we want the Pada Raja of Bhagavan Krishna, or we are in that joy of having the dust of Lord's feet when the Mahishis say, all of them are not Prayatna Sthayi Sadhakas now, they are Sthayi Bhava Sadhakas. Prayatna Sthayi Sadhaka is you and I, where we are trying to come on to the sadhana. Coming on to the sadhana is effortlessly every day. We are doing the sadhana, waiting for the Lord's grace for the result to come. All these are those people. You know, as in Gita said in 6th chapter. Yoga arurukshuhu, yoga arudhaha. These are the two words used. Yoga arurukshuhu is the one who wants to mount the steed of the yoga. The one who is already mounted. The one who wants to mount the steed of yoga, he is struggling in the world to negotiate through the prarabdhas and doing all the dharmas and is able to face all the pairs of opposite. He is an arurukshu. He is going through them, he is struggling. And when he has come victorious of all of that, then he becomes yoga arudha. What is the arudha vasti vyaktis lakshana said in Gita? Na indriya arshneshu anushajyate. None of the indriya vastus is attracting him. Therefore, na karmasu anushajyate. Therefore, the outer worldly things gainable or gained or giving karma, he is not at all interested in. Third one, his taste for Paramatma has grown. Therefore, sarva sankalpa sannyasi. He has no sankalpa at all done of the world. Yoga Rudha Tada Uchyate. This person is Yoga Rudha. All the Gopikas are in the Yoga Rudha state. There are no other Sankalpa than that of Krishna. Even after Bhagavan Krishna gave them the Brahma Jnana, Tattva Jnana, Atma Jnana, they received that at that very moment they became Mukta. Then what they asked again, wherever we are, Karmavir Brahmamananam, we are put in the Deha if required. May our bhakti, O Lord, to you be stable, sustained. Means what? They are going through the prarabdha being in grahasthashram and all, but that's not binding them. To that extent, they are in the yoga arudha sthiti. We should all seek that, desire for that. That let the outer world be lived smoothly according to duty and prarabdha, not at all disturbing our adhyatmika sadhana. For that sadhana, whatever the calmness, quietness of the mind and senses has to be gained, obtained, achieved, it is called as yoga arudha sthiti. May we have that. Very soon, by the grace of all the Rishi Muni, whom we remembered very fondly yesterday in our evening भागवत क्लास है कि नहीं. सारे ऋषि मुनियों का नाम आया. We have remembered all of them. So let our this journey itself give us ananda, and the destination reached very soon also, make us established in that pure ananda of satyam jnanam anantam brahma aham asmi, that way. So let us now continue our study of today's classes. Taittiriya Upanishad now with Bhashyam after Parayanam. Yoga Darshanam with Vyasa Bhashyam. We'll have our Mundaka Upanishad with again Shankara Bhashyam. Gita will be studied 11th chapter. Today we will see Sanjaya concluding his words to Dhritarashtra. And from tomorrow we'll see Arjuna seeing the Vishwarupa and describing it, which are very highest knowledge and information. Then in our Bhagavatam, we are going to see today Krishna Kruta Stuti to the Rishimuni, and they in reciprocation do the Stuti. Then Sri Vasudevaji's Prashna to all the Rishimunis, Narada giving Uttara. That portion we will see. And the most beautiful one in Adhyatma Ramayanam, we will see Bhagwan Rama reaching to the Ayodhya Nagari, Nandigrama, and meeting with Bharata, and they are freed from that 14 years tapasya of that Vanavasi, Aranyavasi, Jatavalkaladhari. They give it up and they are into that attire of the Rajakumara and all. In the next chapter, we'll see Sri Rama Pattabhishekam. So, how wonderful, see, when our minds are always reveling only on these things, where is the chance for unnecessary samsara and involvement? Let us just spend our entire life and time in this, and that's and in that way escape this by our own choice reached Kali Yuga, which when minded or given importance will create so much of undivine impurities that our lives together will be bound. From now onwards, our only agenda is escape this Kali Yuga's influence on us by exposing our mind to all these truths or the realities through the study of the Shastras. May it happen to all of us. Okay. Now let us do our class today. First, our chanting. We started another round yesterday. The last round we have started of doing the Parayanam. Yesterday we have come up to Yash Chandasam. Done, but again we will do. Om Yaschandasam Vrishabho Vishwarupaha Chandobhyodhyamrutat Sambhavova Samendro Medhaya Sprunoto Amrutasya Devadarano Bhoyasam Shariram Me Vicharshanam Jihva Me Madhumattama Karnabhyam Bhori Vishruvam ब्रह्मणः कोशोऽसि मेधया पिहितः श्रुतं मे गोपाय आवहन्ति वितन्वाना कुर्वाणा क्षीरमात्मनः वासागंसि मम गावश्च अन्नपाने च सर्वदा ततो मे श्रियमावह लोमशां पशुभिः सह स्वाहा आमायन्तु ब्रह्मचारिणः स्वाहा विमायन्तु ब्रह्मचारिणः स्वाहा प्रमायन्तु ब्रह्मचारिणः स्वाहा दमायन्तु ब्रह्मचारिणः स्वाहा शमायन्तु ब्रह्मचारिणः स्वाहा यशोजने सानि स्वाहा श्रेयान्वस्य सोऽसानि स्वाहा तन्त्वा भग प्रविशानि स्वाहा समाभग प्रविश स्वाहा तस्मिन् सहस्रशाखे निभगाहं त्वयि मृजे स्वाहा यथा प्रवतायन्ते यथा मासा अहर्जरम् एवं मां ब्रह्मचारिणः धातरायन्तु सर्वतः स्वाहा प्रतिवेशोऽसि प्रमाभाहि प्रमापद्यस्व ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ ॐ ॐ ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मविद्या सम्प्रदायकर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः ॐ नमः प्रणवार्थाय शुद्धज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः ॐ शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ॐ जगदेमविदुं गलिताकृतयो विचरन्ति महामहसच्चलतः अहिमांशुरिवात्र विभासि गुरो भव शङ्करदेशिकमे शरणम् ॐ ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तन्नमामि ॐ परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्तब्रह्मविद्या आचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो नमः श्रीवेदव्यासवैशम्पायन याज्ञवल्क्य आद्य शङ्करादि तैत्तरीय उपनिषदः आचार्येभ्यो नमः अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः तेषां सर्वेषां कृपा अनुग्रहेण उपनिषदुक्तब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधस्य अस्मिन् क्षणे एव अनुभवसिद्ध्यर्थं सनातनधर्मस्य वैदिकहैन्दवसंस्कृतेः पुनरुत्थान पुनर्जागरण विश्वव्याप्ति द्वारा विश्व आध्यात्मिक प्रगति द्वारा विश्व शांति कल्याण एकता प्राप्त्यर्थम अस्मिन् कर्मणि निष्ठितानां समस्त साधक भक्त धर्म संस्थापकानां अस्माकं सह आयुरारोग्य ऐश्वर्य क्षेम स्थैर्यादि समस्त सत्संपदा साधना शक्ति सानुकूलता प्राप्ति विघ्न शत्रु निर्मूलन द्वारा धर्म संस्थापन कार्य दिग्विजयार्थम श्री कृष्ण यजुर्वेदांतर्गत तैत्तिरीय आरण्यकांतर्गत तैत्तिरीय उपनिषदः पारायणं श्री आद्यशंकर भाष्य समेत अध्ययनं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे ओम यस्माज्जातं जगत्सर्वं यस्मिन्नेव प्रलीयते येनेदं चैव तस्मै ज्ञानात्मने नमः यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं वदवाक्यप्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम् तैत्तिरेयकसारस्य मयाचार्यप्रसादतः विस्पष्टार्थरुचीनां हि व्याख्येयं सम्प्रणीयते ओम् अथ तृतीया भृगुवल्ली ॐ शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वामेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मावादिशं ऋतमवादिशं सत्यमवादिशं तन्मावेद तद्वक्तारमावेद आवेन्माम् आवेद्वक्तारम् ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. Let us chant the 10th Anuvaka Bhruguvalli, Dashamonuvakaha. We will do from the mantra number 5. तत्प्रतिष्ठेत्युपासीत प्रतिष्ठावान् भवति तन्मह इत्युपासेत महान् भवति तन्मन इत्युपासेत मानवान् भवति तन्नम इत्युपासेत नम्यन्ते स्मै कामाः तद्ब्रह्मेत्युपासेत ब्रह्मवान् भवति तद्ब्रह्मणः परिमर इत्युपासेत पर्येण म्रियन्ते द्विषन्तः सपत्नाः हरिये प्रिया भ्रातृव्याः स यश्चायं पुरुषे यश्च सवादित्ये स एकः स य एवं विद अस्माल्लोकात् प्रेत्य एतमन्नमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रम्य एतं प्राणमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रम्य एतं मनोमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रम्य एतं विज्ञानमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रम्य एतमानन्दमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रम्य इमान् लोकान् कामान्निकामरोऽप्यनुसञ्चरन् एतत्सामगायन्नास्ते हा वो हा वो अहमन्नमहमन्नमहमन्नम् अहमन्नादो अहमन्नादो अहमन्नादः अहग्गश्लोककृदहग्गश्लोककृदहग्ग श्लोककृत् अहमस्मि प्रथमजारुदास्य पूर्वं देवेभ्यो अमृतस्य न भायि यो मा ददाति स इदेव मा वाह अहमन्नमन्नमदन्तमाद्मि अहं विश्वं भुवनमभ्यभवाम सुवर्णज्योतेः य एवं वेद इत्युपनिषद ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. Friends, if you want to see the summary of what we have studied so far, it is only these few things. First, stop totally the Nishiddha karma and Kamya karma in the Jivanam. Then, by doing all the obligatory duties, get rid of all the obligations, etc. Third, by doing the what you call the upasanas that are received from the your own kula parampara or given by the guru or you have understood from the shastra or you yourself have selected through those upasanas to some extent get the positivity, divinity, spirituality, and a kind of satvikata in the heart. Having gained that, now comes the main. These are three sadhanas. One sadhana is through the Shastra Adhyanam, getting established in the fact that Brahman alone is reality to be realized for total liberation from all samsara created samasya. And for that experience of Brahman, two things we have to do. One is the Vyavahara Kalina, all upasanas. If you are a Bhakta, the Saguna Sakara upasanas of the Lord's Vibhutis that are said in the 10th chapter of Gita and also in Bhagavatam. If it is in the Vedantic way, then the Vedantic Brahma upasanas that we are studying from last 1 week or so. These things should reduce in our mind the thoughts of anything other than Brahman and increase the thoughts of Brahman, which will facilitate for our last sadhana of meditation. You can experiment it. One day, throughout the day, go on listening to variety of advertisements of TV. You will see whole day you do that, night or in the dream or in the next day, only those thoughts will come. Just go on listening to Bhule Bisre Geet. Very seriously, sincerely, all day. Then we will be remembering those Bisre Geet only. In the same way, take the name of the Lord throughout the day. You can see instantaneous effect of those thoughts of the Lord alone are lingering in our mind. Same way, when we do the upasana of the Brahman, as it is said in the Taittiriya, we can see our thoughts always will be of that Brahman seen in the form of this world, which is a very, very essential condition we have to create in our heart till it becomes natural. And for that, the only two sadhanas is Nirantara Brahma Upasana. As it is given here, Manushi Samagnaha, Daivi Samagnaha, they all are Brahma Upasana. Doing this and other than this, which again replaces the Brahma thought with the worldly thought, that we have to consciously avoid, should not allow it to enter. This is the care we have to take. Otherwise, as we said in one of the classes yesterday, as regards our sadhana, kala sadhana is concerned, we are very serious, very sincere. But then, other than that sadhana kala, in the other kala, whatever sadhana is done of making our mind divinized through the Bhagavad Vritti, we are neutralizing it again by bringing the too much of Jagad Vrittis. Okay? So that we have to avoid consciously. Only in this we are ill. To the extent that effortlessly the Bhagavad Vritti, the Brahma Vritti alone is there in our mind any time of the day, anywhere we are. सुबह उठते ही ब्रह्म वृत्ति ही आना चाहिए हमको. लाइक विभीषण विषा इन तुलसी रामायण, सुबह उठते ही प्रात ले नाम. भगवान कहीं नाम ले रहे हो, राम राम करते जप करते उठे हो. After this, we become qualified to go on the seat of meditation to deeply contemplate on the truth, piercing through or going through or transcending one by one koshas as we are guided in Taittiriya. In other Upanishads, other type of guidance is given. There we are told to transcend the three avasthas in Mandukya Adi. In the same Mandukya, through the Prana Upasana, we are told to merge all the three avasthas in three matras and the three matras in amatra. This sadhana, when we do, we reach the self. For that, the whole heart should be filled with Bhagavad Vritti. For that only, we are told here to do the Samagnaha, the Upasanas. In this, any of the steps we miss or the opposite of we do, we are not properly doing our sadhana, therefore don't expect result. If we are not deeply contemplating on the nature of the self as studied from the Shastra and transcending all the trigunas or three avasthas or panchakoshas, the truth cannot be comprehended, experienced. And without the mind all fully engaged or naturally engaged only in the thought divine, the above said thought sadhana cannot be done. Until we do the upasana vibhuti of Brahman, this natural state of mind, having only thoughts of Bhagavan, that cannot be there. Until we become purified to a great extent through the other spiritual activities of japas or the upasanas or the puja ityadi, tirtha yatra, bhajan kirtan, without doing all of them, this next level ability it will not come to us. And before that, unless we live a noble life of what we have to do and contented in whatever we are given, these further steps will not happen. And all will not happen when we don't totally eliminate or avoid the Nishiddha and Kamya karma from our life. So, this systematic thing, when we clearly understand and accordingly we do, our life is very smoothly progressing, proceeding in the spiritual unfoldment path. Any step we are not doing the thing, then the next step we will not go. If the heart is filled with the Nishiddha karma and Kamya karma or Nishiddha and Kamya Vishayas, then our activities will be in that only. The first basic protecting ourselves from ourselves only we have failed in. Okay, in that we succeeded, but we are not doing our dharma outside according to the placement where we are. That also leads to the regrets and guilts. With that mind, how can we proceed further? Then the third thing we have not done the upasanas, which traditionally are coming to us. Then the gathering of the senses and mind, divinizing them to some extent, won't happen. When you do it, it will happen. After that only, from the Guru listening about the Paramatma Tattva, we can do very clearly. Then, to experience Paramatma on the seat of meditation, the obstructions are so many thoughts of the objects of the world in the mind, therefore replacing them through the Brahma Upasana with the Brahma Vrittis or the Vibhuti Upasana. So in that, specific things are told here as 12 plus 5, 17, and 73 Vibhutis are told in Gita, and in that was in 10th chapter. In ninth also some 15, 20 are told. In 7th also the 14 Vibhutis are told. So through the practice of that, what happens? The senses are seeing the world. The mind is reporting that only to our inner personality. But with the Upasana Bala, we are knowing that everything is expression of that one Paramatma only. Understood? So you are seeing Ashwatha Vriksha like everyone. But the difference in us is we have done the abhyas of Ashwatha Vriksha to be Paramatma. For whenever you see Ashwatha Vriksha, for others it is a tree. Ficus, some name is there, botanical name to it. But for us, it is tree but Brahman. Because we have done the Upasana, Brahma Upasana. Clear? In this way, every step we have to conquer. When that is done, always in the mind, Paramatma Sambandhi Vrittis are there. Now, क्या हो रहा है? In the class, little, very vaguely, Paramatma Sambandhi Vrittis, we are able to gather because even in the class, our mind is distracted in so many things. Once you go out of the class, so many things of the world are involved in it. All of them are becoming vrittis. With this, even though sincerely we sit for the meditation with the help of mantras of Upanishad, we cannot do because all those thoughts will disturb us. On the other hand, when one does only the Upasana Brahman, Brahma vrittis are always there in the mind. Therefore, easily any thought comes in the mind, we can reject it. अरे ये तो ब्रह्म ही है. Common, सब कुछ ब्रह्म है. Every thought comes, the content of the thought is nothing but Brahman. Then the Raga, Dvesha, Kama, Krodha will not precipitate because when you have seen it as Brahman, you cannot afford to have all those negativity. Only when we see it as a real Vastu and some Sukha Buddhi in that, as we said today, that the desires for that in the mind come and we become extroverted. But Brahma Upasana किया तो ब्रह्म का दर्शन हो रहा है तो ब्रह्म में सब कामनाएं नहीं है तो वो सब नहीं रहेगा. Then what is that Brahman? Where is that Brahman? We do that Jignasa, the Tapasya. Jignasa named Tapasya. Then as Bhruguji done, we also do Annam से शुरू करके ब्रह्मेति वेजानात और सतपोतप्यता Annam brahmeti vejanat annadhyeva kalvimani and all that. But again he comes to Father. In that way, as he proceeded, we also proceed. A very precise, precision yukta sadhana spirituality is, if you can understand it clearly. So that is what we are here to know in our everyday struggle. May all our effort struggles find correct direction and give the information knowledge which we are having the authority right to and we deserve or we want it. Once that comes to us, we know every moment we are sadhakas, not anything else. Everywhere we are doing our sadhana, even though for onlookers it may appear that we are also involving in the world like they are. You will also serve food along with others. But for you, the food served, the utensil in which the food is taken, the hand with which you are serving, the ladle with which you are serving, and the one who is served, the person who is eating, सब ब्रह्म ही है. देखो, this is the difference. Brahma, Arpanam Brahma, that is the meaning. This is how we have to do. Okay. Now we have seen 5 Manushi Samagnaha. We have seen 6 plus 6, 12 Manushi Samagnaha. In that second 6 of set mein 4 were thoroughly said. Fifth and sixth we'll just touch it. Then we go further to the question answer session between the Purva PAKSHI and Siddhanti, which is in continuation of this topic connecting to the next topic. Yeah. So what is that? Tad brahmetyupasita brahmavan bhavati. This is what we are doing. Almost we touched that also. Before that, तृप्तिरिति रुष्टो बलमिति विद्युति एष इति पशु ज्योतिरिति नक्षत्रेषु प्रजातिरवर्तमान इत्यवस्ते सर्वमित्याकाशे देन् तत्प्रतिष्ठेति उपासित प्रतिष्ठावान् भवति मह इत्युपासित महान् भवति मन इत्युपासित मानवान् भवति नम इति उपासित नम्यन्ते स्मै कामाः. Up to that we saw exhaust. This also we touched. Tad brahmetyupasita brahmavan bhavati. So that Parabrahma alone is the Hiranyagarbha Brahma. The moment the picture of Hiranyagarbha comes in our or the word we remember Hiranyagarbha, immediately we have to understand that he is the Paramatma identified and expressing through the Samashti Sukshma Sharira Upadhi. समष्टि स्थूल शरीर उपाधि से एक्सप्रेस होने वाला विराट पुरुष. फ्रॉम द समष्टि कारण शरीर एक्सप्रेसिंग इज ईश्वर. Okay, the Ishvara is Karana Rupa. Stula Jagat is there, but then both of them are blended by the in between one. Samashti Sukshma Sharira. That is why Hiranyagarbha's importance. From him only the Stula Virat comes, and before him in the Karana Sharira it is unmanifest, therefore unperceivable and not useful for sadhana. Therefore, Hiranyagarbha Sthiti alone is subtle one. So the Samashti Sukshma Sharira Abhimani is the Hiranyagarbha. So that Hiranyagarbha is called as Brahma here. So Tat Brahma is Upasita. Tat Atma, Tat Paramatma is Brahma, the Hiranyagarbha. In this way we have to do the Upasana. You know what will happen? Brahmavan Bhavati. One becomes as great as Brahman with all the qualities as we saw in the first Anuvaka. Mahaiti Brahmani. Then the Brahman is Apnoti Swarajyam. Apnosi Manasaspatim. Vakpati Chakshushpati. Shrotrapatir Vijnanapati. Etat Tato Bhavati. Akasha Shariram Brahma. Satyatma Prana Ramam Mana Anandam. Shanti Samruddham Amrutam. All these words, though vague to us, but again study through the Bhashya will come to know very clearly. All of them are the expressions of Hiranyagarbha. We become that. That's the meaning of Tad Brahmeti Upasita Brahmavan Bhavati. That Brahma, Hiranyagarbha, Virat Purusha can do the Shasana control of all the that all divine forces, all the Daivi faculties. Because we already seen Angani Anya Devataha. He's able to command them. That sthiti comes to. They are all yogis, they are all Siddha Purushas. In Yoga Darshana, that path. Same thing comes to the here also. Brahmavan Bhavati. Some of the samples we have seen at that time. What was that? Apnoti Swarajyam means the whole world will be under his command, the gross one. Apnoti Manasaspatim. He will be able to know not only what is in his own mind, but everywhere in the total mind, what is there, as Hiranyagarbha knows, this person also knows. Manasaspati. So it can be human beings or plants or animals or insects. उनके मन में क्या हो रहा है? He will be able to know because he is identified with the Hiranyagarbha. There it is Maha Upasana. Here also same. Brahma are same. Brahma ka upasana karo. So manas, that's what there. Manasaspati. Then Vakpati. He becomes Vakpati. What is Vakpati? He can influence the Vak of everyone, speech, or his own speech becomes fruitful. It doesn't go vain or waste. उनकी वाणी जो है वो विजय बनाती है उस बात को. मीन्स इफ इट डज अनुग्रह it becomes successful. It becomes agraha yukta and does the curse, that also gets executed there. That is the meaning of Vakpati. Then Chakshushpati, Shrotrapati, we have seen that all achievements are the Hiranyagarbha's achievements. Those things become ours We become one with him. That's the meaning of Tat Brahma iti upasita. If you do the upasana of that Brahman as Brahma Deva or Hiranyagarbha, Brahmavan Bhavati. That we have seen yesterday. So, last one now remains. Tad Brahmanaha Parivrudatam iti upasita Brahmavan Tadguna Bhavati. Okay, that is satisfactorily explained. Now the last one, Tad Brahmanaha Parimara iti upasita. Pariyenam Priyante Dishantaha Savatnaha Pariye Apriyaha Bhratruvyaha. These are the two things. Just in 2 minutes, if you study, this also becomes very clear. So, that Brahman alone, Brahmana Parimaraha iti upasita. उस ब्रह्म को ही ब्रह्म का परिमर इस तरह से उपासना करो. What is that Brahmana Parimara? Is कि Brahmana Parimara is explained. Parimara means what? Parimriyante. Parimaraha. Parimriyante. Pari means totally. Mara means mar gaya. Mriyante means died. Parimriyante. Into what the Parimriyante? Into these Pancha Devata. Who are the 5 Devatas? Vidyuto Vrishti, Chandramaha Adityaha, Agni, iti etaha. Therefore, all these 5 are the cause of dissolution of everything. And these get dissolved into the Vayu. That's why when the Vayu goes away, the Prana, all the Devatas withdraw, then the whole functionings of the body become stagnant. That is what we call as the death. So what is death? All the functionings of the body have stopped. Why? All devatas have stopped. Why? The presiding deity of all the devatas, Mukhya Prana, has gone away from it. Is it not? Therefore, what is Brahmanaha Parimara? That in whose absence the devatas stop working. Therefore, the physiological functions stop happening. Therefore, declared that it is dead. And what is that then? Vayu. So, Vayu Rupena, we have to do the Upasana of the Brahman with the knowledge that the Vayu is the one because of whom all Devatas are working, and because of the working of Devatas, the Jivanam is there in the Jiva or the any of the beings. Else, they will die. Okay. कि परिम्रियन्ते अस्मिन् पञ्चदेवताः विद्युद्वृष्टिः चन्द्रमाः आदित्यः अग्निः इति एताः अतः वायुः परिमरः श्रुत्यन्तरप्रसिद्धेः. In other Upanishad it is said, therefore, taking the help of that, here Bhagavan Adi Shankara commenting the Brahmanaha Parimara as Vayu, and that Vayu is Brahman. This is what the Samagnya or the Upasana have to do. How do you say that Vayu is that Parimara? Somewhere else it is said. What it said? Ki Saha Eshaha Eva Ayam Vayuhu Akashena Ananyaha Iti Akashaha Brahmana Parimaraha. Finally, we are brought to the Akasha. Because in the Akasha, the Vayu merges. Because from the Akasha, Vayu came. The Vayu itself taking the shape of Mukhya Prana is the one who, by enforcing all the devatas and physiological functions to function, is sustaining the body alive. Therefore, he is called living person or any living being. What is a dead being means? All the bodily functions stopped because the Adhisthana Devata stopped, because the Vayu stopped, because the Akasha has withdrawn his expression as Vayu into itself, let us say. Therefore, Brahmana Parimaraha is Akasha. In that way, catch the main final thought. Therefore, iti Akasha Brahmana Parimaraha. Okay. Tam Akasham. That Akasha. Vayu Atmanam, which is the self of the Vayu, which expresses prana, which sustains all physiological, psychological, sense level, all the functionings which are facilitated by this prana, of whom the Atma is the Vayu, Brahmana Parimaraha. That is called as Brahmana Parimara iti upasita. So tat Brahmana Parimara iti upasita. So tat Brahma alone is a Parimara Akasha, which is the Atma of the Vayu. In that way you do the upasana. So here the focus is on the what? Into the Akasha, the Vayu merges. Because of the merger of Vayu into Akasha, Devatas stop functioning. Because the functional stopping of Devatas, all the faculties stop. When all the false faculties stop working, he is said to be dead. That way to the death, the final reason is Akasha only. Death is Parita Mriyante. Okay. Parita Mriyante. In that death, by the grace of, let us say, Akasha Devata only, these persons, all variety of personality layers, whatever made him individual, they go back to their own source. Those sources are said as these five, which we saw in the beginning. Which are they? Vidyutu, Vrishtihi, Chandramaha, Aditya, Agni. Vidyutu, Vrishtihi, Chandrama, Aditya, Agni. In the combination of all of them, all our personality layers are there, manifested in different subtle processes. They go back into that when one dies. So the one individuality goes into Paramatma, or sorry, the faculties which are total. But how it is caused by the stoppage of the Devatal functioning, and how Devata stopped working, because the prana stopped working. Why the prana stopped? Because the प्राण का आत्मा आकाश जो है प्राण को व्यक्त नहीं कर रहा है अभी वहां. Therefore, there two things are told. How the mrityu happens is said. Second, that mrityu is Param Brahma only. Do that upasana. So here the mrityu is spoken finally as आकाश, because आकाश में प्राण लय होता है. प्राण लय होने के कारण देवताएं काम करना बंद करते हैं. When देवता stop working, whole physiological functions stop. Therefore, there is no life in that person expressing as a dynamic person. Think about it little more. It becomes very clear. Therefore, tam akasham, that akasha, vayu atmanam, which is the self of vayu, brahmana parimanaha. It is the parimana of the Brahma. In that way, you have to do the upasana. So, akasha is parimara. You just do upasana. That is Brahman only. Like earlier also. Mana upasita, nama upasita. उसी तरह से ब्रह्मण परिमर. Now the Falashruti is very interesting. Enam. So the mantra is Pariyenam Riyante Dishantah Sabatnaha. Okay, Enam of this person. Sabatnaha. Whoever are the enemies are there. Dishantaha, who are hating. Parimriyante, they just die. Not only that. Next one is what? Ye apriyaha bhratruvyaha. Te api parimriyante. These are two things. Simple words is what? The enemies who are hating him, the enemies who are not hating him, both of them will perish and die. It can be any human beings, it can be any of the subtle, unknown, subtle powers, Shaktis, whoever are his enemies. They can be small, little microbes which are inimically trying to act to spoil our health. All of them will die with this upasana. Whoever are doing dvesha of us and destruction of us, whether they are in the form of any of the animals, plants, etc., or they are in the human being, with this upasana, that the parimara, the akasha itself is Brahma. When this upasana done, all these sapatnaham riyante, they die, we are alive. Death, see this, when any of these such Vedantic spiritual knowledges we gain, na, we have to be very alert and subtle to understand in that context when the word is used, what is its meaning, what are its various meanings. For example, here he says, sapatnaham riyante, his enemies will die. It's a literal meaning. But it has to understand different ways. Physically die karenge kya ho? You understand? Or they stop harming you. That also the enemy is death only. Or in their mind the enmity towards us goes away. If none of them work, then the death. Is it not? If some of them work, that is equivalent to death of that person as our enemy, because he stopped hating us, stopped becoming inimical. So, though the literal meaning is parimriyante, he just the shatrus will die. The death can be the final death, it can be elimination in from that person's heart, the enmity towards us. That also sufficient, no? Somebody हमको द्वेष छोड़ना करना छोड़ दिया तो काफी है. Why should we want them to die? But they are not living that desha. They said कि मरने तक हम तुमको द्वेष करेंगे. तो then naturally we have to say फिर जल्दी मरो. This is how the variety of meanings we have to grasp when such sentences come. Okay, so भाष्यकार का भाष्य क्या है कि एनम means एवं विदम means the one who is doing the parimara as Brahma upasana, for him प्रतिस्पर्धिनः, the opposition party log, द्विषन्तः, because in the mantra द्विषन्त is called पर्येणं म्रियन्ते द्विषन्तः सपत्नाः, है ना, द्विषन्तः सपत्नाः, एनं द्विषन्तः सपत्नाः परिम्रियन्ते, एनं the sadhaka, द्विषन्तः hating, सपत्नाः enemies, pari completely, mriyante मर जाएंगे. This is the meaning of sentence. So why especially the word द्विषन्तः used? Shankara Bhagavan explains, advishantah api sapatnaha yatha bhavanti. Because there are some shatrus, they may not do the dvesha to you. They are just shatrus. Is it not? Like the business wise, shatrus who are there. They are only business type of rivals they are. But otherwise, one to one, why will there be a dvesha? There is rivalry, a competition. You know? They are shatrus that way, rivalry, but no hatred. You can see an example of 4 or 5 brothers having same business. So that way they are sapatnaha. They are shatru to each other because business एक को आता है तो दूसरों को नहीं आएगा. But heart in heart, they are not dvishanta. They don't hate each other. Like yesterday I went, I saw 10 shops of all the Raksha Bandhan wale. 3 or 4 are their own brothers' relation only. I asked one fellow, why don't you adopt this technique for your better sale? He said, no, Swami, that other also is my own brother. If I do that, usko business nahi hoga. So I was very happy to listen to him. So he also want money, he's sustaining, he's doing that business. His brother also doing. They are competitors. क्योंकि वहाँ का जो बंदा उधर जाएगा customer, he will not come here. The one who has come here and bought, he will not go. Therefore, that way they are all dvishantaha, sapatnaha, inimical. But no dvishantaha. There is no hatred. So here, in the first case, hating shatrus will die. That means what? Their hatred will go away as well as the shatrutva also will go away. One thing. If that doesn't function, definitely they parimriyante, they will die only kuch bhi hokar. So that they don't stop your spiritual progress. Now, Shruti Mata, towards the end, this she is telling this Brahma Upasana and its effect. Therefore, this transcendental truth is right in its own place. To reach that, when we do all sadhanas in the contemporary world, where so many competing other individuals are there, they can bend upon destroying us as an enemies. उनको भी हमें ठिकाने पे रखना है, whether the gross people or their own subtle thoughts. Again, like Sanatana Dharma Hindu. One is physically our temples को तोड़ने वाले राक्षस. Like in Pakistan, almost 100 में से 2% अभी temple बचे हैं. Everything destroyed. Physically, psychologically also, in the mind, they think and plan for the destruction of Sanatana Dharma. That's why they are Shatrus. We have to counter them. So when we do this Brahmana Parimana Upasana, all those people, their minds will change. जिनका चेंज हो सकता, जिनका नहीं होता, they will be finished. One example I gave of that religious. Any other example you take in your business rivalry, when you are honestly working, political rivalry, when you really want to serve the nation, our prime minister should be told this upasana, so that unnecessarily poking people, they can be kept in control. So up to this level, the Upanishad tells us the phala shruti of the upasana. But this has nothing to do with Brahma Prapti. Huh? These are all to avoid the obstacles and problems. Because कोई ना कोई शत्रु सता ही जा रहा है आपको, then you can't sit for your meditation like the business में. He is going on troubling you, कर रहा है, then you can't sit for class or dhyana. Or anybody, your own wife can be shatru. Children can be shatrus. Shatru means shatanat shatru. Shatana, from that only satana, the Hindi word came. जो सताते रहते हैं शत्रु है. It can be a neighbor. You are not killing to go into the legal case and get punished. You are doing the Brahmana Parivara Upasana, Paramatma himself will take care. If the neighbor is troubling, you do this Upasana, Bhagavan will make such a jadoo that that fellow will be transferred. Okay, from this place. So you are happy, safe, no? Or you may be transferred. That problem goes away. So you will shift from Amritsar to Dehradun. So Bhagavan has removed that problem. Otherwise, itna tension man mein. This is how the grace works when we do the upasanas without ourselves involving any harmful activities. Our shatrus are removed. In Bhakti Shastra, that is how when you become Bhagavan's Bhakta, Bhagavan comes and does the Dushta Shikshana, Shishta Rakshana. What is said there as Dushta Shikshana, Shishta Rakshana, here it is called as Tad Brahmana Parivanitibhasita Pariyenam Riyante Dvishantaha Savatnaha. So, yenam dvishantaha savatnaha parimriyante. Yenam, this sadhaka, dvishantaha, hate karne wale, savatnaha, enemies. Hate karne wale enemies, parimriyante, they will die. The word death indicates what? Not physically death. Death means absence. Absence is point required, not death. Death means absence. Absence is required. Absence को indicate करने के लिए death कहते हैं. Therefore, he will die means what? He need not physically die, like your own. A competitor is there in business. No, he need not die. He just stops that business. So that competitor died, no. वही है वो, बस वो दुकान बंद कर दी, हो गया, कुछ कारण से बंद हो गया, तो ही इज नो मोर ए कॉम्पिटिटर. होता है रहता है कि नहीं? लाइक पॉलिटिक्स में द अदर आप ही नीड नॉट डाई, ही जस्ट विथड्रॉस फ्रॉम पॉलिटिक्स, हो गया. भगवान विल मेक सच ए जादू that he will withdraw from politics and become better Babaji than you. You are freed from that enemy. In that way. Dvishanta sapatna parimriyante is first one. Second one is what? So, enam evam vidam pratispardinaha dvishantaha advishantaha api sapatnaha yataha bhavanti atha visheshyante dvishantaha sapatnaha iti. The hating enemies, what will happen to them? Enam dvishanta sapatnaha te parimriyante. Spasta, Shankara Bhagavan has no doubt at all. Pranan jahati. They will physically die also. If they are not listening to that words, ठिकाने पे नहीं आ रहे तो, if they need that type of treatment, प्राणान जहाति iti. Is that only that? No, the other ones also. Kim cha ye cha apriyaha asya bhratruvyah advishantah picha te cha parimriyante. So first the bigger enemies of enemy and dvesha, they will be eliminated. Thereafter, no dvesha but inimical, even they also will be removed. So that you become without any enemy, succeeding in your own path. This we have to see from the spiritual standpoint. When we see like that, all our durgunas are our shatrus, they will be eliminated. First, some terrible durgunas of rajo and tamaguna. They are the द्विशंतः sabhatnaha, क्योंकि हमको साधना करने ही नहीं देते. Let us say first they are eliminated. Thereafter, advishanta but savatna, they are what Shuddha sattva guna qualities. Sattva guna qualities. And even though sattva guna vyavahara also is an obstruction to the spiritual unfoldment, because the self is beyond the three gunas, not only beyond rajotamo, it is beyond sattva also. Therefore, this is an advishanta, but this is also savatna. Savatna is shatru. अब ये भी हम ट्रांसेंड करेंगे. दैट इज मीनिंग ऑफ सर्व धर्मान परित्यज्य. उससे पहले सर्व अधर्मान परित्यज्य. Okay, adharma is papa, adharma is tamo rajo guna, and dharma is, let us say, sattva guna. So first the adharma of the rajas tamas is paritejya. Then the dharma of sattva guna also paritejya. Then gunatita mam ekam sharanam vraja. So in that way, dvishantaha sapatnaha parimriyante, then ye priyaha bhratruvyaha, apriyaha bhratruvyaha, advishantaha api, te api parimriyante. Okay, not dvishantaha, advishanta only, but they are apriyaha bhratruvyaha means your own competitors. Apriyaha means shatrus. The shatru competitor without hating. Because business has to grow, no? Or any of the endeavor has to succeed. So they also will be eliminated from our, and just keep the emotional point apart, sentiments. How important is this? Aggressively opposing people with full vengeance and hatred, and the competitors. Only when both of them go away that we succeed in any field, provided our field chosen is noble. In the religious parlance, these the other two terrible religions, they are all the Dvishanta Sapatna. And very many other people, they're not doing Dvesha, but they're causing sufficient harm for the Sanatana Dharma. A big group of Nastikas and other four people, five people, I don't want to name them. They are also not allowing the Sanatana Dharma to grow. Therefore, they also need to be. Then only the pure Sanatana Dharma, which talks about the moksha as well as Uttaloka Prapti, as well as talks about all the individuals' outer prosperity, total prosperity, totals individuals and totals worldly and spiritual prosperity को बात करने वाला हिंदुइज्म होता है सनातन धर्म. है कि नहीं? Others what they do, they want to eliminate us. We are not wanting to eliminate them. We are not talking that language only. We are talking only moksha. But because they are trying to eliminate us, though we have to retaliate. We have to protect, no, the glorious Sanatana Dharma. भगवान खुद ही अवतार लेके आते हैं धर्म स्थापना के लिए. That is teaching us. My dear, you have to do the work of dharma sthapana, paramarthika dharma sthapana, sanatana dharma sthapana. That way, example. So, in this way, only when our life is calm and quiet without the aggressive as well as passive shatrus, that we'll be able to pursue our job and grow. Is it not? Like for India, Pakistan, China, they are dvishantah sabatnaha. But the Americas, the Japans, the Britons, they are advishantah, but they are also sabatnaha. पीछे से वो भोंकते रहते हैं हमको. They are not, never trust them. They are absolute opportunists and selfish fellows. Mhm. This way, this mantra ends. Now comes the Prashnottari between the Purva Pakshi and Siddhanti. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 questions are there. It will be very beautiful discussion. When you listen, it opens up some very important subtle understandings. One or two we have seen already in the earlier Valli, one or two will be new. That way, through the discussion, the clear, complete, final picture the Shruti Mata tries to give to us. Shankara Bhagwan tries to give to us because the Purva Pakshi Siddhanta is not there in the main mantra. It is the Bhashyakara's development of that thought in line with the proposition, in line with the एस्टैब्लिशमेंट ऑफ श्रुति वाक्य ओनली. श्रुति वाक्य को एस्टैब्लिश करने के लिए ही उस एस्टैब्लिशमेंट के मार्ग में जो प्रश्न उठते हैं उनका टेंटेटिवली सोचकर भगवान शंकर उसका उत्तर देते हैं इन दिस पूर्व पक्षी सिद्धांत डिस्कशन. और ड्यूरिंग हिज जर्नी इन द होल कंट्री you might have got such Purva Pakshis asking questions. You might have answered them, and that is recorded here in the Bhashyam of the Upanishads. That's why we can see. So, very good discussion. It will be of 5-6 shloka questions. We will come tomorrow to study them. Thereafter, Sayashchayam Purusha and all of that. Yeah, maybe 1 week or so, we'll try to complete this subject. Then we take up equally sweet Taittiriya Upanishad. We will not stop. हमारे उपनिषद अध्ययन चलता रहेगा. ओम 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 पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ओम शांति शांति शांति. हरि ओम. श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. परम ऋषिभ्यो नमः. पर ब्रह्मणे नमः. श्रुतिमात्रे नमः. ओम तत्सत्. ब्रह्मार्पणमस्तु. सो ब्रह्मणः परिमर इति उपासीत. Okay. So the Akasha is the one into which everything gets extinct. Therefore, everything gets extinct into the Akasha. That extinction is called as Parimara. Therefore, Akasha in the Rupa of Parimara, and that Parimara Rupa Akasha is Parabrahma. This is what Upasana here. Parimara is destruction. Akasha is the one into which everything gets destroyed. Therefore, that Akasha into which everything gets destroyed is to be done as Upasana, that in that Rupa, Brahman alone is there. Thank you. Om Shanti Shanti. Tad Brahma